It's the kind of friend who would help you hide his body. All right. The next shovel full of loose brown dirt spilled over his broken, let's not say it's broken, let's not be that specific, spilled over his twisted neck, his jawline, and covered one ear completely. All right, let me fix the and here. Covered one ear completely. His eyes stared out at nothing in the hole that was too shallow and uneven to be a proper grave, but was enough to cover his body for now. Let's say Brittany paused with her empty shovel raised over his head as she thought about everything that had happened over the last few hours. Everything planned and unplanned. In the interval, hold on, I'm going to turn on the fan. It's getting toasty in here. There we go. All right. Apparently we're hitting the summertime. In the interval, Alexandra managed to dump 2 more shovels of dirt over the lower portions of his body. The dirt spread out as it landed with, let me make this a new paragraph here. The dirt spread out as it landed with clothy slaps some of it cascaded into the pockets of his slacks or stuck in muddy swatches around the wet spots at his groin. He would have never sat still and quiet, getting his pants dirty like that in life. Brittany finally turned away and stabbed the spade of her shovel into the uneven pile of unearthed dirt between her and Alexandra. It wasn't bad the entire time. Alex. Alexandra pooched out her lower lip and blew a couple stray strands of sweaty hair out of her eyes before she answered. She took a moment to break up the let's say heavier clods of clay, say dark clay in their dirt pile. Whatever you say, Brit, but obviously it was bad enough. Brittany couldn't help but laugh at that. It was a tired coffee noise, but Alex could still make her laugh. She swung the next hefty shovel full over his head and paused again before she dumped the load, let's say turned, before she turned the load over. Most of it missed his head, but several crumbs covered his face. The odd shape of his pale lips and sprinkled all through his hair. She supposed they needed to fill the entire hole, so it wasn't exactly a miss. I'm just saying, all relationships are complicated. Alex dropped a few loose pieces of clay around his feet, around his thighs. It sort of made him look like he had an accident. She supposed this was indeed one hell of an accident. I don't know why you are still trying to talk him up at this point. Brit, I'm not. I don't know. I'm still trying to get my head around everything. She turned away from his slowly filling grave to shrink the dirt pile a little more. Did he always wear a cardigan like that? Not even ironically. Like, that's literally how he wore it. Brit took another look with her shovel still speared in the dirt. His light blue sweater was tied around his neck like a cape. He wore it that way when he played tennis, just like his father did. The knot of the sleeves had pulled taut at his neck during the surprisingly brief struggle. He was an okay tennis player, but was worthless in any fight where his victim decided to defend herself. It showed her teeth as she wrestled loose some more dirt. It does make him look like a real asshole, doesn't it? Okay, moving right along here. He was a real asshole. Both young women poured in more dirt at the same time. Whether consciously or not, they both piled it up over that fuzzy sweater. Thank you for helping me with this, Alex. I didn't know who to call. Alex gave a little chuckle. As they attacked the diminishing dirt again. So I'm your bury a body friend. I don't know. I guess you are now. I just thought of you, and you were the first and only person I thought to call. I'm actually kind of flattered by that. They filled the hole in unison again. Alex focused on burying his crotch. Britt decided she had seen enough of his face. Britt decided she had seen enough of his face and set about covering it over. Stuck in the bury a body zone. All right. As they continued the backbreaking work, they continued the backbreaking work of covering up a murder. The women drew ragged, heavy breaths from their efforts. He mostly just yelled at me. He only tried to hit me a few times. He never really connected. Alex sighed and continued her work beside her friend. Again, I'm not sure why you're telling me this. I just don't want you to think that I let him mistreat me that way for a long time. I don't want to be seen as a victim. Britt, we're burying him. I think he had it coming. I'm not going to lose any sleep. That Tylenol can't fix. Burying a Body, brought to you by Tylenol. That's not an official sponsor, by the way. I'm not going to lose any sleep that Tylenol can't fix. Clearly, you're not the victim today. I don't like to think of myself as a killer either. I guess I am, though. Alex didn't answer at first, but finally said all he had to do was leave you alone and he'd still be alive. This is his doing. We're just going to make sure that none of this comes back on you. They will think it was me, though. No one knew we had broken up yet. Even if they did, they'd still come to me when they notice he's missing. Should I report it? I wouldn't. Alex went for more dirt. Britt leaned on her shovel a moment longer. They'll want to know why I didn't call. You can just say that he sometimes stopped calling or coming to see you days or weeks at a time. That's the truth, right? Sure, but that will make our relationship sound troubled. It will make me more of a suspect. everyone knew your relationship was troubled, Britt. They'll just be surprised it was him that disappeared instead of you. Her mouth dropped open a little as she watched her friend continue to bury the body. You guys thought he was going to kill me. Alex shrugged and then winced. He seemed the type. Britt returned to the work. His face and most of his hair was covered. She decided she didn't like that twist in his neck and started covering that next. Alright, I'm going to add one thing up here where they were talking about the sweater, so let me see if I can find that spot and put that in. Alright, he was a real asshole, Britt said. There was blood on the sweater. That's why I decided to leave it on him and bury him with it. Yeah, that's probably smart. Okay, now we'll get back down here and start moving the action a little. Alex paused and then placed an open palm over Britt's shovel to still her as well. What is it? Shh. Listen. They did. Voices drew closer. And then footsteps. Alex squatted down behind what remained of the dirt pile. Alex squatted down behind what remained of the dirt pile. Britt joined her. Okay, hold on. She started to wish there was more of the dirt remaining. the group of 4 came into view in the distance. Brit narrowed her eyes. Is that... Shh. Just stay quiet. The 2 females and 2 males paused as if they might have smelled something or felt some sort of psychic disturbance. If they turned just right, they could spy the scene. Maybe they would notice something was amiss. They might even see the poorly hidden women. The 4 of them continued on and out of sight. What are they doing here? Alex whispered. There's hiking trails, but not back here. Nowhere near here. No way they came here before. No way. What are they doing out here now? Alex finally stood back up straight. Holding her lower back. Brit stayed in a crouch. Okay, let's say Alex said, I don't know, but we can't stop now. We can. Alex stared a moment as if considering it. No, we need to finish. The longer he goes unfound, the better. I just don't get it. Casey hates hiking anyway. Why today? Why all of them? Just coincidence. Don't read any more into it than that. Come on, let's hurry. Brit stood again and kept her eyes set upon the distance where the four had vanished, and she tried to shovel quietly, as if such a thing were possible. So that was Casey. Alex said. Yes, her and Allison, and that looked like Derek too. Who was the other guy? Someone Allison is seeing from work. She brought him to that party at the lake. Remember? It was the one where he threw Kool-Aid on me for bumping him. Britt motioned toward the hole as if Alex might not recall who threw the Kool-Aid. I remember. I don't know his name though. I can't remember either. Britt focused her efforts on covering his body, even though there was still a ton of hole to fill in all around him. So is Casey with Derek? No, I don't think so. I think he just tags along with them. No, I don't think so. I think he just tags along with them. Does he want to date her? Britt shrugged. Every guy wants something, I guess. Brittany. Allison. No, wrong name. Alexandra. What are you guys doing? Both women froze in place as they stared at Casey just a few feet away. She had come from the opposite direction from where the four had been seen earlier. Britt looked back and forth. What are you doing here? What are you doing over here? I thought you were hiking with Allison and the guys over there. Casey narrowed her eyes. Allison's guy brought us out here to see some property his dad is buying. It sounds like a weird trip, Alex said. It is kind of weird. Casey looked at the shovels the other women held and the hole that she couldn't quite see into from down the slope where she stood. What's his name anyway? What's his name anyway? Britt asked. Casey's mouth twisted up, and she said, I don't remember. And it's been too long to ask again. I hate that. I hate that, Britt said. Me too. Casey took a step closer. Seriously, what are you two doing out on this property? Are the others nearby? Alex asked. What are you doing by yourself? I had to get away from Derek. He's being weird. I think he likes me, and I don't know how to let him down. Let him down easy. Did he follow you? Alex stepped around the dirt pile, holding her shovel down by her side. I hope not. I'm going to have to go back sometime. Seriously, what are you two? Are you burying a body? Casey stepped up to the edge of the hole and stared down at the feet, and one hand still in sight. He was trying to hurt me. I had no choice. Britt said. Casey swallowed a few times. You killed him? It happened fast. I called Alex to help me deal with it. Is that who I think it is? Please, Casey. Hey, Mr. Frank, thank you for dropping in. Welcome to the story about a couple women burying a guy that's apparently not too good of a fellow. Alex raised the shovel over her head. Will there be bears? I don't think so, but the story's not over yet, so I'm not gonna not promise it. All right, Alex raised the shovel over her head as Casey bent over the hole. Britt's eyes went wide, but she made no motion. Made no move to stop what was about to happen. Don't give up on the bears. This is the year. That's true. It's true. An exploding bear would probably solve a lot of problems here right now. She made no move to stop what was about to happen, though. Casey stood back up straight. You need to hurry before the others come. I might be able to keep them away, but it will probably be better if I help. Do you have a third shovel? Alex lowered her shovel. Are you serious? We're friends. Need to sneeze. Excuse me. We're friends. He was terrible to you, Brittany. I'm not surprised this happened. I'm just glad it wasn't you. Told you, Alex said. Seriously, we need to hurry. Take Britt's shovel, Casey. She could use the break. Casey reached out and Britt handed it over. I did my share. We need to move faster. Alex went back to work and Casey joined her. Thank you guys, Britt said. The work continued for a few minutes. Britt whispered, Alex, Casey, there's someone. There you are, Derek said, as he... There you are, Derek said, as he emerged from the same thicket. Casey had come from. Alright. I thought you were lost. Hey. Alex. Brittany. What are you two doing out here? Do you know... Wait. What are you guys digging up? This isn't your property. Whatever is out here belongs to Casey. Swung hard and obliterated one of Derek's eyeballs as she sliced through his orbital lobe with the edge of Brit's shovel. He covered his face with both hands and started to cry out. As he staggered, Alex cut off the noise with a careful jab between his forearms. Hey, Kedman, thanks for dropping in. Hope things are going well for you. It's been a little while. Alex cut off the noise with a careful jab between his forearms into the soft base of his throat. Yeah, not good times in Europe. Yeah, I guess that's true. You guys are under pressure for sure. Sorry that's happening. Into the soft base of his throat, turning the start of a scream into nothing more than get into the soft base of his throat, say with the tip of her shovel. Everything must feel a bit distant for you over there. Yeah, I guess that's kind of the American way, though, that we kind of see things in the abstract. A lot of people over here are focused on that all the time, though, so it's definitely on everyone's mind. A lot of people deeply concerned about the risk of a world war, and that a lot of people in America don't want the leaders to make the kind of mistake that might lead to that, which seems to be pretty close to the surface right now. So that's kind of the mindset over here. That, and everybody's upset about gas prices. All right. Turning the start of a scream into nothing more than a gagging choke. Derek fell to his knees. For me, it is a reality with the warmongering nuclear neighbor who wants to reestablish Tsar Russia pre-war World War I. That's correct. I think most of the world agrees with that. It's just I don't think anybody's taken any real direct action to stop him, other than the squeezing them economically and such. I don't know how effective that's going to be, though, or what the peaceful solution is going to be in the end either. All right, Derek fell to his knees on the edge of the hole. His entire body heaved for air that seemed unwilling to reach his lungs. It's a whole lot different feeling to live right at here, yeah. His entire body heaved for air that seemed unwilling to enter his lungs. The women exchanged looks over the top of him. There was no clear communication that Brit picked up on. She only saw saw her own fear and confusion reflected back at her on their faces. Alex took the next hard swing, slicing deep into the back of her head, of his head. The impact was loud and wet. Derek may be writing a fan fiction, Waldo's Return. there you go, buddy. That sounds good. That'd be funny. Trying to light things up from all the gory things. That's true. The impact was loud and wet. Yeah, I guess even in situations like that where it's right on your doorstep, gloomy, I get it. Even when it's right on your doorstep, you got to do something to distract yourself because there's so much of it that's outside your ability to do anything. You know, we're all kind of at the mercies of the choices of people on top, I guess. All right. Derek went silent. Let's say fell silent. Well, fell's not good because he's going to fall in the hole. Derek went silent. I'll use fell. Derek fell silent and toppled over into the hole. His weight imprinted in the loose dirt, making it appear that much of their labor had been undone. All right, let me fix much. Much of their labor had been undone. His sneakers remained on the edge. Britt took a step to push his feet off into the hole. Britt took a step to push his feet off into the hole. All right, his sneakers remained on the edge. Britt took a step to push his feet off into the hole, but his legs slid the rest of the way into the hole on their own. Derek started to convulse. There was a clicking in the back of his throat. Derek started to convulse. There was a clicking in the back of his throat. Casey lifted the shovel and drove it down into the head, over and over until it split open, and Derek finally fell still. Casey heaved for breath and huffed you have to hurry. All right. Okay. They started raking. They started raking the dirt into the hole that now held two bodies. Brit dropped to her knees. Brit dropped to her knees and used her hands and then her feet to shove the dirt over the side. Derek covered up faster than the first guy had. They had almost filled the double grave to the top. They had almost filled the double grave to the top when voices approached. The three of them laid down flat at the edge of the thicket. Oh, this needs to be the same paragraph. I think I'm close to the end here. Let's see what happens. Three of them laid down flat at the edge of the thicket and stared across at Allison and her guy in the distance. Casey. Derek. Casey, she called. Derek, he called after. It's time to go. Allison yelled again. You think I'm out having sex with him? I bet. Casey whispered. Gross. Allison and the guy started down the trail away from the scene. Over here, Casey yelled. She started to get up. No, that's not quotation marks. Hold on. She started to get up, but all right. I'm going to need a new paragraph here. She started to get up, but Alex grabbed her shoulder. What the hell do you think you were doing? I can't let them leave, Casey said. I'll come back and Derek will turn up missing. They'll know I had something to do with it. So what are you going to do exactly? Britt asked. We need to see where they are on all this, Casey said. We need to see where they are on all this, Casey said. His dad is buying this land. I'm not sure he'll be cool with it. I'm not sure Allison will be able to let it go either. So then what? Alex asked. Casey. Allison shouted from the top of the hill. Where are you? Down here. Casey stepped out of the thicket. And waved. No one saw me come with them. Need to dig another hole, I think. Let me say. She then lowered her voice. Down here, Casey stepped out of the thicket and waved. She then lowered her voice. No one saw me come with them. We need to dig another hole, I think. Alex looked to Brittany. Alex looked to Britt and said, maybe you should have called Casey instead. Britt shrugged and felt the day's labor through all her muscles. Through all her muscles down her back. Okay. They dug 2 more holes that day. One much further away. It had all been Casey's plan at that point. Checking his wallet, they discovered that Allison's guy was named Peter Fermata. That didn't matter much.